Hey everyone, my name's Gamey Gus, and I want to talk about video games. I love video games. I grew up with video games, and most importantly, I grew up with the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. And a lot of people they like to talk about like Mario and Zelda and Bonk, but like I grew up I grew up with those. Yeah, good. Yeah, but I was also into a lot of weirder games, a lot of more obscure games like Dino Wars, the destruction of Spondylus. I can never remember. As much as I love this game, I can never remember the subtitle right there. But like, yeah, it's got a really cool box art. It's got like a guy. He looks like Daft Punk, and he's like shooting that dinosaur in the head with a laser. You can kind of see that right there. And this was actually really important. Like, you might not know this, but Dino Wars was actually a really important game at the time. And it's kind of just been forgotten. And the thing is, like Dino Wars, there were a lot of firsts in this game. It did a lot of things like for the first time that you had seen in a video game, and it did a lot of things that like had been done before, but hadn't been done very well. Except when Dino Wars did it. And the thing about it is that you may have seen games that had for example dinosaurs in it. There were plenty of games with dinosaurs, but you didn't see one that had a Dino Wars with like a Z at the end of it, and that was the thing. Everything at that point was just you got to put a Z at the end. It's not just the wars as in multiple wars. It's Dino Wars. So it's got attitude, and you can totally tell by the robot dinosaur that's getting shot in the head by Daft Punk, and it's really really groundbreaking, and in a lot of other ways. And this was actually the first video game to feature a full frontal male nudity, and something you really didn't see in a lot of video games before that. And it was really it just did it, there are a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows that really want to break new ground and stuff like that, and video games just weren't breaking much ground. It was just sort of you got you're a hero, you got to save the princess. You just be like, oh no, you got to explore your sexuality with Dino Wars. It was groundbreaking, and the critics loved it. It was a game that the critics loved, and a lot of the critics, especially Bob Thornton of Video Games magazine, and then they shortened it down to just Video Games magazine, gave it a 9 out of 12. And he said that this was an amazing game, but nobody believed him because of the charges held against him. Let's just say that he had to kind of go door to door after that, and tell people in the neighborhood he was moving in. So people didn't want to believe that guy that Dino Wars is really good, and that kind of ruined it. If anybody else had said oh, Dino Wars is a great game, then they probably would have been like, yeah, totally. But then Thornton is like, oh, it's a really good game. It's like, oh, you don't want to buy a game endorsed by a pedophile. Your job makes you a pedophile. And so it bombed, unfortunately. But yeah, a lot of other game developers out there played the game. I mean, it was a game for game developers. How you have an actor's actor or a comedian's comedian. This was a game for game developers, and they played it and they got inspired, and that's why you see so much male nudity in video games today. You cannot play a game without just a full dick shot just right up front. And you have Dino Wars to thank for that, and yeah, so I just wanted to really talk about this game that really really spoke to me as a child, and I really hope that that more people will check this out now. You can probably get it pretty cheap on eBay. Unfortunately, it's not on the Virtual Console yet, but hopefully someday we will see this on there. Yeah, because Bandai is a really big company. They make a lot of video games, especially once again with a lot of male nudity in it, especially that new Digimon game that they made. really kind of little much with that one though. I mean, like there was a little too much. Like this was really tasteful. With that one, it's just like it's at some points I'm like, come on, guys. All right, well this is Gamey Gus signing out. And I hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and share, and do all of that just to see more videos of talking about video games. So really, get pumped. I'm gonna try and find another gem for you guys that you may not have heard of. Of course, I'll be talking about games you have heard of, and yeah. So thank you all, and have a good night.